Hello, everyone. Um, it's 3:56 p.m. in the afternoon. So, excuse me. The Perp Hotel neighbors that made all that noise, I'm glad to find out they checked out, but somebody forgot to turn off the TV and I could still hear it and it's bothersome. I don't know if they have other guests up in there. Um, so I'm forced to have to keep my earbuds in. I can't walk around with my ears free. Excuse me. So between last night and all day today, I could not get any peace or quiet, really. So, like, I think it was probably 1:20 this morning. I was finally able to go to sleep. And then, like, they were arguing all night last night. And then they quieted down for a little bit. And then after 4 o'clock, I think I had to use the bathroom. And I heard the noise, the yelling and whatever. And couldn't go back to sleep. And every time excuse me, if I document what they did, they will be quiet. And then they would start back up again. But then if I start to drift off to sleep, they get quiet, and then if I start to drift off to sleep, they go back to yelling again. But then if I wake up and go back on my phone, they get quiet. But then if I try to go back to sleep, they start to yelling again. And they vibrated my body so badly. I'm talking about the me being hit with the weapons. The gang stalking cult network. They vibrated my body so bad that it made me feel like not wanting to be here anymore. I'm not talking about permanently, but I'm talking about like temporarily. So like for the past few days they've been vibrating my body, but like the vibrating my body was how I became homeless, like with the weapons, was how I became homeless in the first place. They started vibrating my body more like in either July or September of 2015. And then and sleep depriving me, and the longer I stayed at that house, that's the more it became unbearable. So excuse me, and I ended up becoming homeless and having to pack up and leave that Section 8 home in Los Angeles. And it so happened, it wasn't even premeditated or pre-planned to be on that day, but it was Friday, April 8th of the year of the bad number, excuse me, and that was the biological sister Ramona's birthday. And the vibrating and the directed energy weapon attacks were so bad that I could not be in my house, the Section 8 house that I was living in. I was forced to have to ride the bus, roam the streets, and live like a homeless person overnight, all night. And could not even be in my own apartment. I keep saying apartment, but that was a duplex house. So, and every time I try to tell people about my body being vibrated, they thought I was delusional or crazy or imagining things or schizophrenic or whatever, and it seemed like ever since after dealing with Lisa Ruby and Tracy Broadhurst, I had been dealing with that. And I don't even know if they had anything to do with the cause of my body vibrating or anything like that, Excuse me, but I was experiencing like spiritual abuse and narcissistic abuse from both of them. And I think both of them were perps. But both of them pretended to be targeted. They making my eye itch. So, and then I had to deal with the vibrating. It started off with my left foot vibrating. And then it went to both of my feet vibrating. And then after some months or whatever, then it started, my organs vibrating, and it would coincide with me losing sleep, and then then after a while they started to do my whole body vibrating, and I'm wondering if I may have experienced the vibrating while in Denton, Texas also, but kind of don't remember it. But don't remember it being bad enough to where I couldn't be inside my apartment. Now, that was an apartment over there, But, so it's like leaving, like, it seemed like when I would ride the bus during the day, living in Los Angeles, I wouldn't have to worry about the vibrating. But then when I came back home at night, the vibrating would start at like about 7 o'clock or 7:30 in the evening. And then it would be Thursday evening or Thursday night through Sunday. Sometimes they will vibrate my body on Sunday nights, other times not. And then Monday through Wednesday, I got the most peace. Excuse me. They try to manipulate for me to hate weekends, or hate and dread weekends. And I'm like, no, everybody loves weekends. Usually everybody hates Mondays, for whatever other reason, So, excuse me. Excuse me. So, like, no matter what city and state I lived in, I had to experience the vibrating just about every night, even in homeless shelters, everywhere. But then, after I became homeless in 2019 in Pensacola, I became homeless here in New Orleans in 2018, and then I ended up still being homeless in Pensacola with attempts at trying to get housing, jobs, or whatever, And, excuse me, I had already been fully awakened to the gang stalking. I was partially awakened. Like, the first time I ever heard of gang stalking, it could have been 2011, but definitely 2012 I heard about targeted individuals and gang stalking. And I didn't realize I was targeted at the time. And I was reading up certain symptoms, and I was like, I hope this doesn't happen to me, because they try to say, oh, if you speak the truth about the New World Order, you become targeted. Excuse me, you end up suffering gang stalking or whatever. But I didn't realize I was already targeted. And then looking back, I definitely was targeted. So, excuse me, I don't know whether to say if my targeting went overt in 2015. That's when I started feeling it vibrating, but I really think that it was 2019 that my targeting went overt. And 2019 was when I started to notice the one headlight vehicles following me and stuff. Excuse me. So 2015, 16, 17, I like whenever I would try to figure out why my body is vibrating, the search would come up: gang stalking targeted individuals and cults. And it wasn't clicking in my mind. And I kept researching, watching a lot of videos. There was this light-skinned guy named James Jackson, I think his name was. And over the summer of 2016, number I hate. And I was already homeless, but excuse me, I was staying by the biological brother Pete for a couple of weeks. And I would see a lot of videos from James Jackson, but he didn't show footage of himself being targeted. He would always sit on a sofa and video from from his living room, I guess, But and then I saw certain other videos about the technology and stuff that it just wasn't clicking. I even saw a video of a lady, Catherine Bell Moore. She said she was a targeted individual in Wilmington, North Carolina. And she said she became targeted. I think she exposed a child pedophile ring. And she said, I think she wrote a book or something called Sex and My City or something like that. Excuse me. And they had certain people from Louisiana, or I don't know if it was New Orleans or certain other areas of Louisiana, with these people with the last name Denicola. No, that wasn't my teacher. But there was a teacher at West Jeff, and there was an administrator at Gretna Junior High with that last name Denicola. And they had these people with that last name that said that they were being targeted. And I remember watching a gang stalking video about someone being followed and gang stalked on a bike. And I remember watching a video called The Cooking of Humanity. Excuse me, but 2019 I got my final confirmation that I was being gang stalked. And they have, I think I have the link in the description box about that blog post about the guy that blogged about how they hit you with directed energy weapons so bad to force you out of your home and make you become homeless because the torture is unbearable. Excuse me. So yeah, and I didn't stumble upon that website till maybe 2020 or something like that. And I'm this is exactly what happened to me. Excuse me. So so basically yeah, so excuse me, when I was homeless on the streets in Pensacola, it seemed like they stopped vibrating my body altogether. I mean, when I was in Greenville, South Carolina, after a while, they were even vibrating my body during the day. or they would make noise during the day and night. And I would have a bunch of fake perp neighbors with noise harassment and noise campaigns at any time of the day or night, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Could not get sleep, and I would have quick flashes of overheat, but I was being told that I was too young for menopause or perimenopause or whatever, you know. Excuse me, but I'm sorry for the mucus in my throat. So yeah, so I hate when I'm in the middle of talking about something and I have to use the bathroom now. I hope to remember. Hold up. So I'm back. I remember talking about the vibrating, but I forgot exactly where I left off. But I'm gonna try my best to remember. So, I think I remember now. Excuse me. So, for like at least 2 years, me suffering on the streets in Pensacola, it's like they quit vibrating my body like completely. Excuse me. And after I got wrongfully kicked out of and permanently banned forever from Super 6 Motel off of North Davis Highway in Pensacola. And that's when they started back up vibrating my body again, but for a brief moment. But there would be moments when I would be homeless on the streets in downtown Pensacola, and certain nights they would vibrate my body, you know. But then it seemed like they toned it down a whole lot. But I remember being in this hotel even like a few weeks ago and being in one of the other rooms, and occasionally, not every night, excuse me, that they would vibrate my body for just like 5 or 10 minutes and then stop. And it's like when I would be in Pensacola and on the streets, they vibrate my body, and I'm like, oh man, you know, they vibrate my body, and then it set the stage for me to be sleep deprived, and I could not get any sleep at all. And if I did get sleep, people say that other people in the TI community will say that the perps will hit me with weapons and do the remote neural monitoring to program me to wake up a certain time, while they're already planted there in advance to watch me pee. You know, excuse me. Where else was I gonna go pee at? You know, and and it seemed like they wanted to monitor and watch me urinate. Well, I had nowhere else to go, you know. Excuse me. And there was, like, at the end of 2019 and beginning of 2020, they were really, really bad with causing me like frequent forced diarrhea, and even sometimes caused the diarrhea to be bloody. Sorry for TMI. I even have a video, not to gross people out, but for documentation purposes, you know. And I hate that. I mean, the brief moment that I had Instagram, you know, for documentation, I didn't realize there were a bunch of Middle Eastern foreign sex traffickers that, I mean, and that was the highest liked video. I mean, I didn't mean for it to get that kind of attention like that, you know. Excuse me, but I was documenting, and I know a lot of people on YouTube got really offended, you know. But I heard that the perps took that video and sold it on the dark web. You know, I didn't mean for that to happen. But, you know, I showed the video because people acted like they didn't believe me. about being with the perps and the forced diarrhea and bloody diarrhea. I'm sorry for TMI. I didn't mean to offend nobody. You know, excuse me. And I remember 2019 or 2020, if they were cause like my, the upper part of my thighs or my legs to like feel like they're burning. Excuse me. Or I would be standing at the bus stop, and they would cause the bottom of my feet or my toes to burn. So like you could be anywhere when you're being anywhere, any time of the day or night, and they're hitting you with these weapons. Like they would hit like the back of my head or certain areas with laser burn. And if I'm sleep deprived for a lot of days, they would cause pain on my left side of my jaw and on my head. They would sometimes make me feel like as if blood is trickling down my head. But it would feel like as if there's pressure on the, not now, but I would have moments where they would have like pressure on the back of my head that would feel like as if there's a gun being deeply pressed hard into the back of my head. And I never had a gun pressed in the back of my head in real life before, but sometimes it would feel like a pencil stabbing, or sometimes it would feel like a gun being pressed up on anywhere on my head. Excuse me. But excuse me, yeah, like for the past few weeks, off and on, thankfully not every night, they would cause for either my organs or my whole body to vibrate for like just 5 minutes, and then they stop. But I talk about the random moments about how they hit either one of my ears, for like between 30 seconds and 5 whole minutes, to hit any one of my ears, with the high pitch sound on either of my ears. So, and I remember if they would cause like hit me with weapons and cause me like forced urination or forced diarrhea or forced orgasms, and forced other whatever, But I remember in summer 2020 when that thing happened that I can't talk about. I was in a hotel and they were electronically molesting my booty hole with the weapons. I'm sorry for TMI, but it happened like once or twice. I felt extremely violated. But like the past few nights, they've been vibrating my body, but the last night was the worst that I've had in a long time. Make you feel like you cannot even live with yourself. Excuse me. I mean, I was about to, even though I have up until Wednesday at noon Tuesday at noon to check out on Tuesday at noon. I was in the middle of the night, I was, attacked with the vibrating so bad that it was in the middle of the night, and I was about to go crazy, and like that now they're vibrating me right now. But later this morning, they weren't vibrating me. but they're vibrating me, I guess, because I'm talking about it now. And so I I was about to cry last night in the middle of the night, you know. So I I mean I really felt like I was about to be driven to insanity. This is wicked, and they're vibrating me right now. Right now. Excuse me. So, like, I had, yeah, so I was awakened at 4 something to their noise and yelling and whatever. And, it seemed like, I don't even know if they left at 7 o'clock. But, by 7 o'clock this morning, all the noise and yelling and cursing and whatever, you know, it stopped. But then I still heard, and right now, well, I mean, not right now because I got my earbuds in, but if I take my earbuds out, it seems like I could still hear the TV. Like as if the TV was still left on. And it's bothersome enough that I have to have my earbuds in. So, excuse me, so I finally was able to get me some sleep from 10 o'clock this morning, and my sleep was spotty, you know, from 10 o'clock this morning up until about 2 o'clock this afternoon, 2 or 2:30 this afternoon. Excuse me. And I had some, like, I think dream manipulation, bad dreams. I don't know whether to call them nightmares because of sleeping during the day, you know. But excuse me. But I think I told y'all that last night when I took a shower, they did try to squeeze my organs. Well, they did. I almost could not wash myself. Or I almost could not wash my feet. But I, you know, was determined to, you know, make sure everything was clean, you know. And but excuse me. Yeah, like I didn't have anything to eat or drink this morning, even though I was hungry like before 8 o'clock. But I was wrestling between whether I wanted to sleep or eat. But I kept trying to sleep and could not, you know. Excuse me. So, but like after 2, I mean it was before 2:30. I think it could have been 2 or between 2 and 2:15. I don't remember exactly what time I woke up, but I know it was before 2:30. And I ate you know, 2 little granola bars and tried those 2 organic it was like some kind of fruit sticks. That was like fruit roll-ups, but it was like a small little skinny stick. And and I drank me some water. That was all I had. But I should have, what I should have, you know, what I should have, I was hungry this morning. I was hungry enough that I should have ate the other 5 chicken wings from last night, and then maybe just had more of the whatever chicken whatever from Wingstop. But like this evening for dinner, I don't know if it might be what time I'm gonna eat for dinner. If it might be, I don't know if it might be 6 or 7 o'clock for me to eat dinner. The last 2 nights I've ate like very, very late, but tonight I hope to I will get to eat much earlier, you know. So after I ate the little, snacks or whatever, I was disappointed to find that the pool was closed today. But yesterday it was open like nobody's business and had a lot of people. I thought they were open all weekend, you know. So but yeah. So I mean, I'm planning to listen to the Bible and pray and work on some of my writing today. And I listened to my Christian songs throughout the day traveling around yesterday, but I'm afraid to listen to my songs here, even though I want to, But I'm going to get off here. I love y'all. I'm going to try to live stream after dinner.